Yo, what it do? We back again. Your grounded show. Your
Your boy.
boy Les, your boy Quincy, and your boy Joe Fernese. What it do? Yo, I get into
Microphone
like
check.
this bodybuilder kind of thing when I start doing the intro. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
that dude. Remember back in the day, the Instagram dude. He'd be like, "Jesus Christ."
Jesus Christ.
That's how I be getting whenever I do the intro, like the same little movements
Oh
buddy
yeah,
be
he's
doing. Yeah.
like the Michael and Usher on the stage.
Yo, man, I've been reviewing the footage of the GoPro from the trip, man, from Quincy's wedding, man. Some dope footage in there.
No, I
Is
still
So
gotta
that
glad
check
you.
all
I'm
that
so
out,
glad you
man.
recorded that. I'm so
Val
glad you
got
recorded
like
that
the
stuff.
whole ceremony basically
Nice.
from like the obviously from the seat,
hmm
that you guys walking up and everything.
That's dope.
It's dope, man. Definitely definitely one for the books, man. That was a
Yeah.
dope vibe.
No, it was. I didn't even realize because I wasn't paying attention to her. But wifey told me she was tearing up the whole wedding. She said she was
Oh,
mad emotional. I
oh,
was like,
for
yeah,
real?
man, yeah. I was like,
Yeah,
I didn't
yeah.
know
Hey,
that.
that's what's
Oh
up.
yeah, but, your wife, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, Val told me, yep.
yeah. Vanessa was
Uh,
like mad tearing up. I didn't even notice because I was just looking at my phone and recording the whole
Yeah.
job.
Because
mm.
I guess they talked about it too. That Vanessa was even like, I don't know why I'm so emotional. I don't even know them like that.
Yeah,
Yeah, she did say that the next day. I forgot
Yeah.
about that. That's
yeah.
hilarious, bro.
That's
No,
cute.
that was
I
dope.
mean, that shows how dope it was.
How did it
Yeah.
feel for you, Quincy? Like everything going right, like all these horror stories that you hear about weddings and just like different personalities, just everything going off without a hitch. I mean, the fact that you had like a light little 5 minute brush of rain that like
Bro,
gave you a quick delay and then it was just perfectly good weather the rest of the time. Like,
bro.
how did
What
that feel?
words can't explain it, bro. Like I literally sent we had our concierge and we had the wedding planner. I sent their managers an email, bro. Like, yo, they did their thing. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't know what kind of experience they be getting from other people, but I'm here to tell you, like, I had an A1 experience with this trip. You know what I
Especially for a
mean?
destination wedding, which is
Yeah,
even
bro.
like double the drama.
Yeah, man. I have to let them know. You know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah, they
that,
had they had that on lock now that you mention it, because they probably so used to like having such short time with people that they already
Mhm.
know what to hit. They already know the important parts. You know what I mean? Like,
Bro, even something as simple as like we were trying to figure out what cake to get, and I was like, it's extra to get lemon cake. It was like almost $300-400 extra, but like I like lemon cake, and she was like, hey man, like if anything, just get lemon frosting on a vanilla cake, and it's probably gonna taste just about the same, and you don't have to pay extra. I'm like, that's real as hell. You didn't have to say that. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? You
Yeah,
could
for
for
have
real.
real.
just, so just stuff like that where I was like, dog, you really like looking out, you know?
Cake was
Yeah,
busting too.
yeah, bro. That
Facts.
that whole that whole event was super dope. The vibes were perfect. Like Joe was saying, man, I'm glad I recorded it too, because just watching it back and seeing like all the moments, how we was all just vibing, how the whole group just kind of came together and was all on like the same page, just as far as like how the pace of the weekend was gonna go.
hmm
It was perfect, man. We
Yeah,
came
we
back
were having
like,
some real conversations, and it's crazy. I remember I had this conversation with Quincy, and you had that conversation on the camera. I was like, damn. I
yeah, I
hmm
remember
got a
talking
few of
about
them.
that.
Val even recorded us for a little while when we were just chopping it up at the poolside bar.
The camera
I
picked up pretty good stuff.
Yeah, for sure, man. But I definitely wanted to, like, obviously that's why I brought it. Like I have had that GoPro for a long time, but I kind of like reset it up, bought new batteries and everything because I was like, man, those trip recaps and stuff like that, and just me being a photographer and doing videos and stuff, like I always want to make sure I get some stuff. Even it was funny because me and you was talking about it, Joe. Like you'll put some stuff on your GoPro or you'll record some stuff on a
You
trip,
never
like
go
on a
back to it
camcorder or
again.
whatever, and it'll just sit on the hard drive and you won't even look at it till like 2 years later and forget you even got that. You know what I
Yep.
mean?
hmm
But it's just dope to have that archive and just capturing those moments. And like I said, man, it was just such a dope vibe that I'm glad that we got it on camera like that. I'm
Yeah.
Yeah,
definitely
I'm
gonna
gonna go
put
back.
together some kind of like video with it. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I
That would be
definitely
A
dope.
got an idea for
montage.
like a music video. You know what I mean? I
hmm
was even thinking about doing like a little "Give Her Love" music video with just all the GoPro footage, just
Jeez,
to
that'd
have
be
a
fire.
visual
That'd be
for it. You
dope.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just because it kind of like matches the vibe. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, it inspired me to finally go through all my GoPro footage and see all the stuff that I forgot about.
Yeah, GoPros are like underrated in the fact that they're like the new camcorder. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
you can carry them around so easily, and they're so powerful, and they're so compact and so high quality that you just can easily just bring that around and kind of even
Hmm.
forget that you have it and just get so much dope stuff that you wouldn't have otherwise. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
That's
Agree
something definitely
100%.
that, like, with everybody being able to record so much stuff now, like, some people don't really use it to their advantage. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like, they don't like keep these memories. You like you don't gotta post it. You know what I mean? Keep it for yourself. Your phone itself will tell you a
Yeah.
year from now, hey, a year ago you was doing this or whatever.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, you don't got to do it for people. You can do it, just do it for yourself. You know?
Hmm.
Mhm.
That's why this one purposely I didn't take the GoPro, so everything I captures in my phone and I can access it all the time. And with the new iOS update, they already have a whole album just for that whole weekend. And I was like, oh, perfect.
Bro, iOS 18 goes crazy, dog. First full day with it, and
It's
I'm
fire.
super happy with it, man.
It is fire. It dropped for the iPad too.
Yeah, yeah, I
Oh,
got
I
that
gotta
on the
update.
iPad too. Yep,
I gotta update.
man, I love the calendar.
Yeah.
Oh
Now
The
your
yeah.
calendar
reminders are in the
update is
calendar
so
because
nice, bro.
I'm a big calendar guy. I'm a big reminder guy. So
Facts.
now I can see my reminders in the calendar, and it's just like bing, 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 bing. Because before, if I want to see something in my calendar, I had to do an appointment for it. Now I could just set a reminder. It shows in my calendar, and I'm see right
The
there.
calendar is
Perfect.
so much more visual now too. Like, it
Yep.
helps you, easily keep track of stuff.
Everything I do is in my calendar, down to the podcast, down to the softball games. That's how I make sure I
Yeah,
get to
same,
everything.
Y'all got me
same.
looking around my room for my iPad. I want to update that shit right
Bro, speaking of
now.
softball, dog, we got rained out 3 weeks in a row. On the
That's
fourth
crazy.
week, we finally played. Joe went to the Locks concert that day, so he didn't pull up. How was the
Yeah.
concert, bro?
Yeah, yeah.
I talked to Unc about it a little bit, but I didn't talk to you about it.
It was amazing, man. We have balcony seats, but there's not really a dedicated area for
Hard Rock?
balcony. No, Beecham.
It was at Beecham.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, okay.
Yeah. Um, so we managed to I forgot who it was, but they were like, "Yo, let's just stand right by the stairs along the balcony. Like, there's nobody walking up and down these stairs," and we just chilled there the whole night. And they had a few openers. It was though because that group that was there, we've known each other for a good 20 years now
What did you
too.
think about the openers? Because Unc mentioned something specifically about
Yeah,
them.
Moxburg.
What did you think?
I didn't care for them.
Yeah, he
I
said
Mm.
the
was just
same
there
thing.
for the likes.
He said the
So
same thing.
I was chilling. I was having drinks, and I was just talking. I was like,
Yo,
"Yo,
so
let me know when the
just
Knox
a
comes
quick
out."
detour from your story. How much do you care about the openers as far as like when you go to a concert? Do you feel like, for your money, they should be good? Do you feel like I'm just here for the main guy? I don't care. Like, how do you kind of like fall on that?
If they are local, I don't care because I don't know them,
Mhm.
and they can be good and they could be a vibe, but I'm not fully dedicated to watching their performance.
Can I
Yeah,
add
yeah,
to
yeah.
that?
I was gonna ask you next for sure.
Okay. So to answer that, I'm a big like when I order or when I go to the movies, I want to be there for the previews. Like I don't
I
want to
do
miss the
that. I
preview.
do. I do want
And,
that. Yeah.
and obviously that has nothing to do with this, but I'm saying that
No,
for a
that's the
reason.
same kind of principle for sure.
Exactly. And so the reason I said that was because for me, I like being put on to new artists. And if the openers fit the vibe of the person I'm going to see or the people I'm going to see, I'm here for it. Like it has to make sense. Like, you know what I'm saying?
So does an opener affect the overall outlook of the show at the end of the day? Like, if the openers are bad, are you going to factor that into the show, or you're just going to factor the main act into whatever happens?
I never factor it in. The only way I'll factor it in is if the opener was good, and I'll be like, "Yo," like
Yeah.
for example, when I
Same.
went to go see Chris Brown, his opener was an artist that I never heard of. I can't remember her name.
I
Off
think
the
that's
top
a
of my
different
head.
level though.
Well, go ahead. Say what you mean.
That's the opener that tours with him in every city. The
Okay,
Locks have different openers
different
in every
openers.
city they go.
But I mean, even that same concept. If they open for the Locks and they get me hyped for the, you know what I'm saying, if they kept give me the same vibe that's
Yeah.
carrying me over to the Locks, I'm cool with it. And if not, then it's just weird. You know what I'm saying? That's just how I
Yeah.
look at it.
I'm not hating, and I'm not saying I don't care for it.
Mhm.
But like I said, like we was all chopping it up, and we were at the bar getting drinks. And I'm not like, I gotta get to the balcony to watch this opener. If
Yeah,
I'm there, I'm watching. But all I care for is the locks, and that's what I'm gonna make sure I'm there to watch. The second it starts to the second it's over.
I got you.
It's my priority of watching the opener versus not. But if it's an actual tour like that, and they have the same artist with a show that's set to perform and open up, I will watch those openers for sure.
Got you.
So how was the show then? Going back to the lock show specifically.
It was great. It was great. I will say, they didn't let me down, but I think the Versus show with Locks and Dipset had such a huge energy that it set a bar, right? And the Tiny Desk was cool, but that's Tiny Desk. That's low key vibe. And then the front porch performance was cool. That was a little hype, but the energy for the Versus tour, if that would have happened, so like Jada did the Who Shot Your freestyle, and it was almost like a Tiny Desk performance, and I was like, bro, I want to hear you yell.
Yeah,
I want to hear you yell this verse. I was yelling louder than him the whole verse. Outside of the energy, it was a great show. They did all their classics. They did everything they wanted, except for Recognize, which we were always sad they didn't do that. They did everything we wanted them to do. All about the Benjamins, 24 Hours to Live versus
so I would venture to say that it felt a little bit, it was just a date on the calendar for them kind of vibe.
Yeah. It wasn't anything special.
Got you.
It's like they're saving themselves for probably the finale in New York or something.
So coming away from it, like with that in mind, how does that make you feel about them overall? Like, does it affect your opinion at all? Does it? Okay.
No, I had a great time. I recorded for almost every single song. They were telling me to put my phone away. I was like, no, this is something I probably never see again ever in my life. There's no way, and I still have all the videos. I go through it, and you can hear me rapping every fucking song. That's why I don't send it. But no, it's something that I cherished and I documented, and it's something that will forever. It's gonna be a long living memory for sure.
That's dope.
Word. In a poetic justice turn of a twist of events, we're gonna transition into one of the guys that gave the Locks a lot of stress. A lot of stress. Pufferton that eats. Also known as Brother Levinsky.
Yeah.
Also known as P. Didumsky.
The Diddler.
Also known as
the Diddler.
Sean Puffy Combitz.
The news referring to him as a diddler is wild.
Bro. So if we rewind time a little bit on this P. Diddy situation. So all that information kind of came out. Them stories started coming out. The FBI kind of hit his cribs when they were going for kind of like a raid. The Cassie video came out. So that's just kind of like part of the events that have unrolled in the very recent future. I mean, very recent past. So everybody could kind of see that there was something brewing. You know what I mean? They knew a case was cooking. They knew that they knew it was a federal thing just based on the movement that they were doing, the way they kind of came at him, ayo. And it turns out to be what everybody thought it was. He's officially indicted, officially charged, federal crimes.
Bruh.
They're in the 80th percentile. They're in the 80th percentile as far as conviction rate.
No bail.
If they're coming at you,
no bail.
If they coming at you, bro, they have a pretty good idea that they're taking you down. So they've said that they've seized money, guns, drugs, 1,000 bottles of baby oil. Bruh.
Where is this baby oil coming? Bruh.
When I heard that, I was like, dog, like, yo, every time something happens, I'll be like, the Boondocks was real, dog. Like, Like I used to watch that and laugh, like, bro, this is so outrageous as a kid. You know what I mean? And now, like,
Mhm.
all the Boondock stuff is like real. That is just like sickening how that cartoon is like the Simpsons for the hood. You know what I mean? Like
Facts,
they just told everything beforehand. Like they knew what was going on, bro.
bro.
Yeah.
Swear.
Bro,
And
how you
there's
got 1,000
video
bottles of lube
footage.
and baby oil, dog? And the
Boy,
guy that's announced the federal guy that's telling this story is telling it saying you had 1,000 bottles of baby oil, bro.
bro, that boy, the real life gangsterlicious.
No, I like how
Dog,
they labeled it a bunch of freak off stuff.
Yo,
bro. The fact that he already had it labeled as an internal event is sickening, bro. The fact that he probably had like itineraries and text chains based off of freak offs is insane, bro.
Yeah. It's the video footage for me that I'm gonna be interested. Not the video footage, hearing what's on the video
Yeah, hey
footage
yo,
and
hey
you
yo.
dirty rat.
and who is in the video footage. A
A, lo-
Philadelphia rapper? I don't know.
yo,
We'll see.
a lot of oh my god, bro.
We'll see.
Yo, a lot of the chatter that's been going around has been the lack of speaking out that anybody has been doing. You know, all these celebrities usually want to be the first ones on top of everything, righteous and oh man, thank God he got, caught, whatever. Nobody's been saying nothing, bro. This is about to be I don't know, bro. This kind of feels like this is like the hood version of what's his name? Epstein, dog.
Yeah.
This is like the hip hop Epstein, bro. Cause dog, like you said, they got video footage of this. Like you talking about a dude that got connections going back 30 years, bro. Like you can't tell me he don't got dirt on people out here, bro.
No, for sure. And they said it was the things that he did was coercion based on blackmail, stuff like that. So
Bruh. What you think about this, Quincy?
I don't know, man. I think that it almost seems like a long time coming though. We've been hearing stuff about Diddy for a long time, and it's always been like that almost like folk tale. You know what I'm saying? Like thing that people talked about but nobody took seriously.
Yeah.
I mean, you can go all the way back to making the band. You know how all of them would say like crazy things, and then Dave Chappelle made a whole skit like about it.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's always been out there that this man was really wilding.
So before the show, we were talking about how we kind of had a similar conversation about R. Kelly.
Mm-hmm.
And it reminds me of R. Kelly in that sense too. Like it was kind of like an open secret with R. Kelly as far as like the stuff he was into, the things he was doing. And
Yeah,
then
it took
when
a
it
long time for it to
it
come
took a long time. And when it hit the mainstream, everybody was shocked. But then everybody that like just listened to rap and R&B kind of already knew this man was on that vibe. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's kind of like you know what I mean? Like when it comes to like a lot of these, did y'all hear about Pee Wee Longway?
What about him?
Buddy got busted with $280 million worth of drugs and guns, brother.
Who's
And
that?
cash.
Pee
Pee
Wee
Wee Longway, a rapper.
That's crazy. He
Dog,
got
he
that
got
tape with
busted.
Money Man. That junk slide too.
I don't
Yeah,
think I ever
bro.
heard that.
Dog, $280 million worth of drugs and paraphernalia and money, dog. This dude is,
He cooked.
he is toasted like a frosted mini wheat, cousin.
Bro, dog had 56,000 pounds of marijuana.
Oh my God,
1.3
56,000.
1.3 kilograms of heroin, 57.21 kilograms of cocaine, 7.1 kilograms of fentanyl. This man is bugging.
Dog, was he the
That's
plug in
wild.
Vice City?
Oh my God.
Dog, this guy, he walk around like this San Andreas.
That's wild.
This ain't GTA, homie. This real life. Yo, that's crazy though, man. When I seen that list, that dossier of illegal substances that he had on him, bro, this gonna be I'm definitely gonna be seeing what ends up happening there because, bruh, wild.
I think we know the end to that story. That's crazy.
Yeah,
And then the FBI apparently was very aware of everything going on. They brought in over 250 agents and analysts to assist in the arrest.
bruh. 250 agents,
Somebody
bruh.
count all that shit.
Dog, that's crazy, bro. That is nuts. But yeah, speaking of nuts, back to P. Diddy.
Hey
Um,
yo, hey yo.
but yeah, dog, having freak offs is wild. The list of stuff that they found is wild. Just the way this like story is gonna unfold is gonna be wild. And like this kind of just random. I didn't even think about this earlier, but like kind of going back to like the Bill Cosby thing, like, bro, these people that you watched growing up and was like, dang, dog, this is like the American dream, but my version. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like now just seeing like all this, like these dudes just being frauds, bro, like across the
Yeah.
board, like just like that's super disappointing, man. That's super disappointing. It was something that I was even just thinking about as far as politics is concerned. Like there was a video going around of like a compilation of all old presidential debates, like from like the early 1900s to like the 1960s, 70s, 80s,
Yeah, like
and just
Kennedy and Reagan.
hearing the poise and the way they were speaking and the
Mm-hmm.
issues they were talking about and how they were talking, and just seeing like where stuff has gone to, like even just thinking about how like back in the day, if you even try to be president and you didn't have any significant military history, they're not even considering you. Like
Mm-hmm.
you don't even have a chance if you haven't put your life on the line for the country, if you haven't done something worthwhile, if you're not decorated, if you're not decorated on a political front. Like you had to check all these boxes, bro, before
Mhm.
anybody even looked at you as like somebody to really like depend on or believe in.
Mm-hmm.
And then you fast forward to now where like it's easier to like be kind of self-made and not necessarily have to check all these moral boxes to get from point A to point B as far as like making money, whatever you're trying to do, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And it
Agree.
almost is like it's like a weird thing, man. Like a lot of people have this. So this is kind of what I want to bounce off y'all to see what y'all think about it. Like, there's two sides to this coin. Like, there's people that be saying, "Nah, if you want something, you'll figure out a way to maneuver through the BS and make it happen." And then there's other people that say they avoid it completely because they're not trying to get caught up in something and lose themselves just to try to reach a goal that maybe is not worth their life or worth them sacrificing what they feel is their like soul or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, how do y'all kind of feel about that? Like, do y'all feel like there's certain things that you have to play the game that there's things you could walk away from? Like, just overall, how do y'all feel about that?
Go ahead,
Yeah,
Joe.
kid. Yeah. I want to kind of relate it to something, a documentary I just watched. And I don't know if y'all know Lou Pearlman, who's
Yeah,
the one to put
the
the
Backstreet
Backstreet
Boys
Boys
dude.
together and sync together. And he now there's a documentary about he frauded everybody. He had a
Mm-hmm.
Ponzi scheme going on. He robbed everybody's investments, their life savings, everything. Well, that happened with the Backstreet Boys, you know, and NSYNC signed up, and the Backstreet Boys hired lawyers to break out the deal, and that happened with NSYNC, and NSYNC uh, got lawyers to break out the deal, but he still made O Town. He still made a shit ton of other groups and a bunch of pop stars still from that with that history because they knew what he was capable of doing for pop stars at that time.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so that's how I see like the recipe is there. The person who can make you big is there, and you know their backstory, and it's if it's worth the risk for you. If it's like, hey, maybe I can maneuver differently where I don't let the bad shit happen to me, and I become successful. But you gotta know there's gonna be a chance where you fall in line with all the other victims as well.
And then ask that one more time because I was kind of following Joe and lost and forgot where we started.
So just basically, how do you feel about just the idea? And then you could kind of take it however you want. Hey yo, just the idea behind there's certain industries or certain paths that you take that there's just like corruption.
Mhm.
And some people fall on the side of like, okay, you figure out a way to maneuver through it to get to what you want. And then some people fall on the other side of like, you know what, I'm not gonna deal with that because it's not worth my peace. You know what I mean? Like, just kind
Mhm.
of what do you think about that concept either way?
I think it really lies within the person, because as you know, Lester, just being in the music industry and just working with so many different people, I'm sure we could have found. I'm just gonna speak from my perspective. I'm sure I could have found better success long ago dealing with the wrong people. You know what I'm saying? But was it worth my peace? Was it worth my um, I guess you could say just compromising my morals, you know what I mean? And like it never was, you know.
Yeah.
So like for me personally, it's not, I'd rather take the long hard road, pause.
Yeah.
Um and just kind of not jeopardize my peace.
Yeah. And you saying that, it just literally put the word sustainability in my mind.
Mhm.
And it kind of goes back to the music thing too. Like, we always looked at it up, and again, I'll speak for myself. I always looked at it like, okay, I see this path. Is this something I could sustain being the type
Mhm.
of guy that I am? You know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
and then if the answer is no, then it's not even something I'm gonna jump into because I already know that's not aligned with me as a person. You know what I mean? Like, and just my end goal with everything, bro. Like, everything that I do is sustainability. Everything that I do is long term. Like something that I learned a long time ago, like when I started like very early in my fitness journey and just like nutrition journey and everything, was, do you see yourself doing whatever you're going to be doing fitness health wise 15, 20 years from now? Like, can you maintain that? You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Because there's a lot of extreme things that people do to try to get a quick change. There's a lot of different things that people try to kind of trick results into happening. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Just from the point of view of like, it's not something that you can do long term. So there's gonna be a breaking point there. You
Mhm.
know what I mean? Like you can't do certain things, certain cleanses, just certain steps that people try to avoid in things and then not expect that there's going to be a crash at some point down the road. You know what I mean? Like, if
Right.
you don't use all the tools you're supposed to use, eventually the thing you're building is going to break down. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And it makes me think about that when we're talking about picking the right path and the right people to work with and do things with, because the people that you surround yourself with to try to achieve your goals are also, you know, the energy that you keep around you. You know what I
Yep.
mean?
Yep.
So it's like, just when you're talking about things like, for example, man, and this right here is gonna be kind of controversial. These people that were victimized by P. Diddy,
Mhm.
a lot of them were duped. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna deny that they weren't duped, and power and position, ayo, is a hell of an influence, and it makes people do things out of character. I do recognize that. But at the same time, dog, I just know from experience that as soon as I see any bullshit, I'm out.
Mhm.
Like, I don't care what quote unquote you could do for me. I don't consider none of that shit. I don't care, bro. If I
Yeah.
see something here that just doesn't align with the type of stuff I'm on, I don't care what, you know, what kind of position you got, what kind of power you got, if you could put money in my pocket, if you can make my life easier, whatever the situation is, bro, I'm out. I'm done.
Mhm.
So like, to a certain point, I think about these situations and I say to myself, like, what kind of accountability do these people have in these situations, from the point of view of how many red flags did you ignore
Yeah.
to end up in the room with the 1,000 bottles of baby oil?
Nah, facts.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and like I said, I recognize that there's always special circumstances. There's always people that have been misled. You know what I mean? There's sometimes where, and it's happened to me. It's happened to everybody, where you end up, you know, you're trying to go A to Z with somebody, but maybe you get to the letter S, and you realize at that point, dang, from A to S, you've been doing X, Y, and Z.
Yep.
that, like, I ain't with that, you know what I mean? And maybe it was just something that you weren't privy to or whatever, and you had to cut it off. Like I've been through that. I've done business with somebody that I thought was on the up and up, and then when I realized it wasn't on the up and up, then you cut it off. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Mhm.
But at the same time, bro, like, you know, you also gotta see these signs. You know what I mean? Like, you can't. That's something that we always talk about on this show anyway. Like, just taking accountability for like what role you play in the situations in your life, and that's just taking that to the next degree. Like, you gotta care about your life. Like, it's the most important thing, bro. Two people are too willy nilly about their life, dog. Like,
Mhm.
Yeah.
you gotta treat
They
this
go
thing
into there
like.
knowing.
Exactly, like knowing that there's some shady stuff, they're just hoping that the dice, shows the number they want. Like, sometimes it don't happen, bro, and then you can't be mad at that point if you took that chance.
Mhm.
I remember when I got into some shit one day in my life. I remember the person that told me the shit I had to deal with. It said, "That's what happens when you bite a bear in the ass.
There you go, and that's exactly it, bro. That's exactly it. I feel
What
like,
happens when you take that risk, man? A risk
yep,
that big that can get you got. That's what happens. Now you got to deal with it."
yep. Go big or go home, man. A lot of people think that that's like an innocent thing. Like, nah, sometimes that go big or go home, the go home is not just go home with your tail between your legs. Sometimes it's go home with a permanent scar that
Yep.
you
Mhm.
might not ever recover from. Like, that's the
Facts.
that's the part that people don't talk about.
Yeah, and it sucks because like that's one thing, and I compare the legacy of Lou Pearlman and P Diddy because P Diddy, yeah, he had some hits as an artist, but the artists that he brought into this industry and made big that are still huge today and relevant today and a big part of the culture and the music and gave us hits after hits and classic albums that he had a big hand in. uh, I think eventually nobody will remember what he did anymore, and they just remember the artist after that.
So to kind of wrap it up with this, I'll pose this question to both of y'all. What role does what somebody provides the public play in how their legacy plays out when they are caught in a scandal like this? So to make it more simple, if you did something messed up in your past, how much of a pass do you get for what you brought to the world as far as entertainment, creativity? Because like, there's so many people that and me included. I'm not saying that I'm not one, because I've enjoyed things from people that have been discovered to have, done some pretty bad things, and you know it's just sometimes it's like a subconscious thing. Like, what I'm saying? You might be listening to a song or something, and then halfway through you realize, like, damn, this is a song by this person that did X, Y, and Z. And it's just like, at that point, like, do you completely disconnect yourself from that? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
do you consider the fact that we don't know a lot of stuff about certain people? So it's like, I'm going to judge the people that I do know, and not, and think that the people that I don't know are saints. You know what I mean? Like, kind of, where do y'all fall on that? You go ahead first, Quincy.
I think that it sucks because when I have this conversation with people, and I like, for example, I'm gonna use R. Kelly as an example, and I say, he's my guilty pleasure. I listen to him in the privacy of my home because it triggers other people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I personally can disconnect the art from the person. I can personally say I enjoy this music, but I can also acknowledge what he did was wrong. I can do that.
Yeah.
Not
And speaking
everybody can do that.
specifically on R. Kelly, just because you brought it up, and I
Mhm,
and I have it fresh in my memory, we, with other people, which we won't name,
mhm,
have brought up the R. Kelly thing, like,
mhm,
in a group,
mhm,
and in the group, like, people that you would not expect are cool with it. People that we would not expect are not cool with it. Like, it's really a mixed bag. Like, it's
mhm,
not like a cut and dry thing that people feel a certain way about these things. Like,
yeah,
it's really like each person you go up to has a different view on it, no matter what they believe personally. Like, as far as like their beliefs, everybody falls on a different side of the fence on this thing. And it's kind of like fascinating to me how, like, you know, just like how we're able to compartmentalize different things. Like, even just as far as like how people do it in their own personal relationships. You know what I mean? Like somebody might do something to them that is harmful, you know, if it's emotionally, physically, you know, however it is, mentally, but they'll compartmentalize it because they enjoy what positives come from that person so much that they're able to overlook the negatives, you know?
And I mean, we started this conversation talking about my wedding. I've always envisioned my wedding having a moment where we all was just dancing to Step in the Name of Love. You know what I'm saying? But that's not something that's possible anymore because that song doesn't resonate with everybody the same way it once did. You
It
know what I
doesn't
mean?
vibrate in the same frequency anymore.
Exactly. You know, so it's like I said, for me, I can compartmentalize and separate the art from the artist, and still recognize that that artist may have done something messed up. But I'm not gonna, um, I guess you could say, just take away the joy that that artist brought outside of that. You know what I mean? I'm still gonna enjoy that.
Yeah. What about you, Joe?
I think the only difference for me is who I share that knowledge with, who I share the information with, or who I still listen to. Um, like with y'all, uh, with my close group of friends, like I say, about 40% of us still listen to it, and the other 60% of us think we're sick and he's a sicko, but we don't care because we're cool and we're not going to judge each other for that. But to random strangers, I won't. I just won't even talk about it. But yeah, I can still listen to whoever I want to listen to, um, and separate the artist and the music and what the music's done for me. The only thing that changes is who I tell people that I still do. That's probably it.
Yeah.
Because of the times that we're in a day, and I'd rather not have that conversation of why I choose to still listen to somebody that you don't because of whatever reasons you have, and that's it.
Word. Yeah, man. Just kind of random, but as we wrap up, man, shout out to TikTok. There's been a lot of funny convos coming out of there as far as like the clips go and everything. Um some dude the other day was like, um basically saying like why we talking about something so much, it ain't that deep. And I was like, yeah, you're right, it ain't that deep, but it's just convo, my guy. And
Yeah,
he
for
was
Hmm.
sure.
like, you're right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So it's like, hey man, at the end of the day, you know what I mean? It's just a way to explore thoughts, you know what I mean? And just I kind of feel like we found like a real nice groove with just provoking conversation with different things, and I like the way that we do it because again, we've strived from the beginning not to do things in a clickbaity slash generic way where we're just trying to sensationalize something. Like we giving real thought out valid takes, and people are compelled by them either way, you know what I'm saying, if they agree or disagree, and it's sparking conversation. So I'm glad that we've been able to hit that note with
Yeah.
people.
hmm
um Shout out to Apple as well, man. My camera's looking super nice right now because I'm using my iPhone as the camera.
Fire.
This iOS 18 and just the integration with the Mac is just ridiculous. um I'm excited to continue to upgrade the equipment, as it were. But yeah, man, as far as the outro goes, shout out to the boy Freddie, man. Me and him are getting ready to do like a little partnership and drop a whole bunch of songs. I'm super excited about that. I'm gonna have more and more details on that soon, just as far as um kind of like the rollout, how everything's gonna go, as far as how the music is going to be rolled out and how it's gonna be categorized and grouped and stuff. um I've been on this crazy roll right now where I'm doing at least 1 to 2 songs a week
Yeah,
and just building a
that's fire.
folder. Like, I've been producing like crazy, I've been writing like crazy, recording like crazy, and the stuff is coming out super dope, like where I'm like crazy excited, and
Fire.
I can't wait to drop the stuff. I'm getting ready to record new content with like a whole different, not a whole different vibe, but I've just realized personally that I'm like in a different phase as far as my artistry goes, just as far as my approach as an artist. Like, I think I didn't properly recognize how seasoned I am as an artist and how I should kind of grow into that. So I'm super excited just to kind of I just feel like I'm entering like this real like comfortable on a roll kind of era with the music where I know it's gonna resonate with the people and I just can't wait to put it out, man. So definitely be on the lookout for that. Like I said last week, this trip to DR for Quincy's wedding definitely gave me like a nice rejuvenation of energy, and it kind of coincided with wrapping up a whole bunch of open projects that I've had. So, just being able to hit the ground running and really see an end date with a lot of stuff and just seeing things normalize as far as like being able to release music more often again, that's super dope. So I'm super excited about that, man.
Big facts.
Yes, sir.
Well, yeah, man. Anything y'all want to leave them with, my guys?
Hey, man. Man, over here, dog. I'm back in the gym with it. You feel me?
I know. I seen you been on your everyday
On
I
that
was gonna
fuck
say
you,
everyday
Yoda.
struggle, but
Oh,
actually everyday hustle, everyday
everyday
hustle.
hustle on my fuck you, Yoda. Shout out to Yoda. Fuck you, dog.
The Celsius twins, the evil Celsius
For
twins.
real. These guys are double shooting. Nah, I
Hey,
want to say
yo,
shout out to the
these guys are double
TikTok
shooting.
community for real. Shout out to the TikTok community for real. They agree with me more on there than on Instagram community. Keep engaging with us, man. Find yourself a group of friends that could talk like it's deep, but not get mad at each other like it's a deep combo. Buzz.
Yo, them comments be hilarious, dog. Them comments
Oh my
be on
god.
TikTok, bro. I love and it's so funny, man, because I hear so many people talking about how affected they are by comments, and then just like go back and forth on podcasts talking about like how they deal with people saying things and stuff.
Mhm.
And bro, I don't know if it's just because we're so disconnected from this generation or what,
Yeah.
but like I never even give a second thought to any of these joints. Like I be
I
laughing, bro.
laugh. I
Yeah,
just laugh
facts,
at
bro. When
everything.
people be saying stuff, I just take it for what it is. I laugh. I always respond in like a lighthearted manner. You know what I mean? Just to spark the debate. You know what I mean? Because
Mhm.
again, like I
Yeah.
said, like we're not here to sensationalize nothing or just do some crazy take. Like it's just real
We need
combo,
to have
bro.
a
Like,
name for them, the people that support us, the groundies.
the ground, bro. Like, yo, this it's crazy because like it's coming together and everything, but like the vibe I always get with like, especially with like an episode like today, is like we get into this vibe where I feel like I just get a vision of like back in the Greek times, like ancient Greece, where they're just like all around like a rock structure, and
Mhm.
everybody just kind of like exchanging ideas and just having a conversation where like everybody learns from it and then just goes into the rest of their day with like a
Nice.
fresh understanding and can like
Good morrow.
approach
Mhm.
whatever you're doing like with just fresh ideas and stuff. And I feel like that's something that's definitely been lost, like just with how accessible information is. Like exchange of information and ideas is so much more important still, you know what I mean? Like knowing things is one thing, but understanding how other people view it and process it, and seeing everybody's point of view, like that's really valuable too. So I just want to keep putting that out there, you know what I mean? And just making sure we getting that on wax, just because, we being intentional with it.
Big
Mhm.
facts.
But yeah, man, I'm excited for that new Warzone update. Once that Black Ops 6 drops, the beta was super fire. The movement's dope. Supposedly they're using it like to aim at a lot of these people that are like movement demons and trying to kind of like hack their way through the game. Like
Yeah.
it's kind of like looking to like eliminate that advantage, you know what I mean? Giving a new
Mhm.
movement and having everybody kind of like an even playing field. So it's gonna be dope, man. And as always, we see everybody next week, and stay butter.
No.